For thousands of years, stories have circulated about vast worlds hidden beneath our feet. Ancient civilizations spoke of mysterious kingdoms deep within the earth, spiritual cities accessible only to the worthy, and underground passages connecting distant lands. In more recent times, these legends have merged with modern tales of secret military installations, massive tunnel networks, and hidden facilities said to exist far below the surface. But where do these extraordinary stories come from, and how much evidence supports them? In this exploration, we journey through some of history's most enduring underground mysteries. We'll examine the legends of Agartha and Shambhala, the Hollow Earth hypothesis, ancient subterranean cities carved by forgotten civilizations, and claims of secret government bunkers and military tunnel systems. Along the way, we'll compare archaeological discoveries, historical documents, geological science, eyewitness accounts, and the many conspiracy theories that continue to fuel public fascination. We'll discover remarkable real-world underground cities such as Derinkuyu in Turkey, hidden cave networks used throughout history, and enormous bunkers built during times of war and political tension. We'll also investigate claims of underground laboratories, continuity of government facilities, and rumors surrounding highly classified military complexes. As we separate documented history from folklore and speculation, we'll explore why stories of hidden worlds have appeared in cultures across every continent. Are these legends symbolic expressions of humanity's imagination? Misunderstood historical events passed down through generations? Or do they hint at discoveries that remain buried beneath layers of time? Whether viewed through the lens of archaeology, mythology, history, or modern mystery, the idea of secret cities beneath the earth continues to captivate explorers, researchers, and curious minds alike. Join us as we descend into one of humanity's oldest and most intriguing mysteries, exploring what is known, what is believed, and what remains one of the greatest unanswered questions beneath our feet. Part 1. Beneath Our Feet, Humanity's Hidden World. For as long as human beings have looked toward the stars, they have also wondered what lies beneath the ground beneath their feet. Across nearly every civilization, stories describe mysterious realms hidden deep below the Earth's surface. Some speak of forgotten kingdoms filled with wisdom. Others tell of underground civilizations that survived ancient catastrophes. More modern accounts describe vast tunnel systems, secret military bases, and entire cities concealed from the public. These stories span thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians described hidden chambers beneath sacred temples. Greek philosophers imagined enormous caverns inside the earth. Hindu and Buddhist traditions told of hidden spiritual kingdoms beyond the reach of ordinary people. Native American legends describe entrances into worlds below where powerful beings lived. Even today, internet forums, documentaries, and books continue debating whether governments possess enormous underground facilities connected by secret transportation systems. The fascination never seems to disappear. Why? Part of the answer is psychological. What we cannot see naturally invites curiosity. The ocean depths, outer space, and the underground. Each represents an enormous unknown. Unlike distant planets, however, the Earth beneath us is physically close, yet surprisingly inaccessible. Humanity has explored only a tiny fraction of our planet's interior. The deepest mines reach only a few kilometers. The deepest scientific borehole ever drilled, the Kola superdeep borehole in Russia, penetrated just over 12 kilometers. That may sound impressive. Yet the Earth itself has a radius of nearly 6,400 kilometers. In other words, we have barely scratched the surface. This simple fact often fuels speculation. If we know so little about the deep Earth, could something extraordinary remain hidden? Modern geology provides clear answers about the planet's internal structure. Scientists understand the Earth's crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core through seismic waves generated by earthquakes. These waves behave in predictable ways as they pass through different materials, allowing researchers to map the planet's interior with remarkable accuracy. Current scientific evidence does not support the existence of enormous hollow chambers capable of housing entire civilizations. The immense pressures and temperatures deep underground make such vast empty spaces extraordinarily unlikely. Yet that hasn't stopped the stories. Far from it. Many legends never claim that entire civilizations lived thousands of miles below the surface. Instead, they described hidden valleys, massive cave systems, ancient tunnels, or isolated underground sanctuaries. Unlike a completely hollow planet, these ideas are at least physically possible. History has repeatedly shown that humans have constructed astonishing underground spaces. The ancient city of Derinkuyu in Turkey extends multiple levels beneath the ground and could shelter thousands of people. The underground catacombs beneath Paris stretch for hundreds of miles. Ancient mining tunnels have been discovered throughout Europe, South America, and Asia. Modern governments have built enormous military bunkers designed to survive nuclear war. Clearly, people have always been willing to go underground when circumstances demanded it. This raises an interesting question. Could ancient stories of hidden underground civilizations have originated from real subterranean settlements that gradually became exaggerated over centuries? Or are these legends entirely symbolic, representing spiritual journeys rather than physical places? Throughout this series, we'll explore both possibilities. We'll separate verified archaeological discoveries from folklore, historical records from modern speculation, and scientific evidence from extraordinary claims. Some stories will turn out to have surprising foundations in history. Others remain fascinating mysteries with little supporting evidence, and a few venture deep into the world of conspiracy theories, where separating fact from fiction becomes especially challenging. Regardless of where the truth ultimately lies, one thing is certain. The mysteries beneath our feet continue to capture the imagination of millions around the world. Our journey begins not with secret governments or military tunnels, but with one of the oldest underground legends ever told, the mythical kingdom of Agartha. Part 2, Agartha, the hidden kingdom beneath the earth. Among all the legends of underground civilizations, none has captured the imagination quite like Agartha. Described as a vast hidden kingdom deep beneath the earth's surface, Agartha is said to be home to an advanced civilization possessing extraordinary knowledge, remarkable technology, and profound spiritual wisdom. According to the legend, its inhabitants have quietly watched humanity for centuries, revealing themselves only during times of great need. It is a fascinating story. But where did it begin? Unlike many ancient myths, the modern concept of Agartha is surprisingly recent. There is no single ancient text that clearly describes a worldwide underground empire bearing that name. Instead, the legend developed gradually during the 19th and early 20th centuries, blending elements from Eastern religious traditions, Western mysticism, occult philosophy, travel accounts, and imaginative fiction. The name Agartha is often linked with stories originating in Central Asia, Tibet, and Mongolia. European explorers returning from these regions sometimes reported hearing tales of hidden kingdoms where enlightened beings preserved ancient wisdom beyond the reach of ordinary civilization. As these stories circulated through Europe, they became intertwined with the growing interest in esoteric teachings and hidden masters. During the late 19th century, organizations devoted to mystical philosophy began exploring ideas that combined Eastern spirituality with Western occult traditions. Some writers suggested that humanity was guided by advanced spiritual teachers living in secret locations. Over time, those hidden sanctuaries evolved into descriptions of vast underground realms. One of the most influential figures connected with the Agartha legend was the French occult writer Alexandre Saint-Yves d'Alvidre. In the 1880s, he described Agartha as a concealed civilization governed by enlightened leaders who maintained harmony through wisdom rather than force. According to his writings, Agartha possessed advanced scientific knowledge alongside profound spiritual understanding. Its rulers supposedly avoided contact with the surface world because humanity had become consumed by conflict, greed, and materialism. Whether Saint-Yves intended his work to be interpreted literally or symbolically remains a matter of debate. Some readers viewed it as mystical philosophy. Others accepted it as hidden history. As the story spread, additional authors expanded the legend. Descriptions grew increasingly elaborate. Agartha became a sprawling underground network illuminated by an unknown light source. Its cities were said to be connected by enormous tunnels stretching beneath continents. Some versions claimed advanced transportation systems carried travelers across the hidden realm in moments. Others suggested the civilization possessed technologies far beyond anything known on the surface. As often happens with enduring legends, each retelling added new details. By the early 20th century, Agartha had become closely associated with the broader Hollow Earth theory. Rather than existing within isolated cave systems, some writers proposed that Agartha occupied the interior of a vast hollow planet. This idea dramatically expanded the scale of the legend, transforming it from a hidden kingdom into an entire world beneath the Earth's crust. Scientific evidence, however, paints a very different picture. Modern geology provides overwhelming evidence that the Earth is composed of solid and molten layers rather than enormous empty chambers. Seismic waves generated by earthquakes travel through the planet in ways that reveal its internal structure with remarkable precision. These measurements leave little room for the existence of a massive hidden civilization occupying the Earth's interior. Even so, the Agartha legend refuses to disappear. Why? Because for many people, Agartha represents more than a physical location. It symbolizes the hope that wisdom still exists somewhere beyond the conflicts of everyday life, a place where knowledge has been preserved rather than lost, where humanity's greatest achievements have not been destroyed by war or forgotten through time. In that sense, Agartha functions much like the legends of Atlantis or El Dorado. Whether real or imagined, it reflects humanity's enduring belief that somewhere, hidden from ordinary sight, a greater truth may still await discovery. The legend has also inspired countless novels, films, video games, documentaries, and conspiracy theories. Some claim governments know of underground entrances but keep them secret. Others suggest explorers have disappeared while searching for hidden passages in remote mountain ranges. Despite decades of speculation, none of these extraordinary claims has been supported by verifiable evidence. Yet the mystery remains remarkably resilient. Every generation seems to rediscover the story, adding new interpretations while preserving its central promise, a hidden civilization waiting beneath the surface. But Agartha is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Another legendary kingdom, deeply rooted in the spiritual traditions of Asia, has inspired seekers for centuries. Unlike Agartha, its origins lie within genuine religious texts and ancient beliefs. Its name is Shambhala. Part 3: Shambhala, the Hidden Kingdom of Enlightenment. Long before stories of secret underground empires became popular in the West, Buddhist traditions spoke of a mysterious kingdom hidden somewhere beyond the ordinary world. Its name was Shambhala. Unlike Agartha, which emerged largely through 19th century mystical writings, Shambhala has deep roots in authentic religious literature. It appears in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, particularly within the Kalachakra teachings, where it is described as a sacred kingdom ruled by wise and compassionate kings. But there is an important distinction. The earliest descriptions of Shambhala do not clearly portray it as an underground city. Instead, it is presented as a hidden land, isolated from the outside world and inaccessible to those who seek it for selfish reasons. Some traditions describe it as lying beyond towering mountain ranges. Others suggest it exists in another dimension of reality. Still others interpret it as a symbolic state of spiritual awakening rather than a geographical destination. This ambiguity has fascinated scholars for centuries. Was Shambhala intended to represent a real place? Or was it always meant as an allegory for the journey toward enlightenment? In Tibetan tradition, only individuals who possess spiritual purity and wisdom are believed capable of finding Shambhala. According to the legend, those driven by greed, conquest, or curiosity alone would never discover its entrance. The kingdom remains hidden, not because it is physically impossible to reach, but because it cannot be found through ordinary means. Over time, Shambhala came to be described as an ideal civilization. Its people live in harmony. Its rulers govern with compassion rather than force. Knowledge flourishes. Conflict is rare. Material wealth holds little importance compared to wisdom and spiritual development. To many believers, Shambhala represents humanity at its highest potential. The legend became even more intriguing through a prophecy found in the Kalachakra tradition. It speaks of a future time when the final king of Shambhala will emerge with a great army to overcome ignorance, violence, and corruption, ushering in a new era of peace. Many scholars emphasize that this prophecy is symbolic, describing an inner spiritual transformation rather than a literal military campaign. Others, however, have interpreted it as a prediction of future world events. As Buddhism spread across Asia, stories of hidden valleys and sacred kingdoms blended with local folklore. Travelers returning from Tibet and the Himalayas occasionally reported hearing accounts of remote communities cut off from the outside world. These stories fueled Western curiosity during the 19th and early 20th centuries. European explorers, adventurers, and mystics journeyed into Central Asia hoping to uncover traces of the legendary kingdom. Some believed it might exist somewhere within the Himalayas. Others searched the deserts of Mongolia or the mountains of western China. Despite numerous expeditions, no evidence of a hidden civilization matching the traditional descriptions has ever been found. That did little to diminish the legend. In fact, the mystery only grew. As interest in occult philosophy expanded during the late 19th century, writers began linking Shambhala with Agartha. Although the two legends originated from different traditions, they gradually merged in popular imagination. Some claimed Shambhala was the spiritual capital of Agartha. Others suggested both names referred to the same hidden civilization. These interpretations are not supported by traditional Buddhist teachings, but they became common in esoteric literature and later conspiracy theories. The 20th century introduced even more imaginative variations. Some writers claimed Shambhala housed advanced technologies. Others suggested its inhabitants possessed psychic abilities or maintained contact with extraterrestrial intelligences. These additions reflected the changing interests of modern audiences rather than ancient religious beliefs. Today, many Buddhist teachers continue to explain Shambhala as a spiritual ideal. Rather than encouraging people to search remote mountain ranges, they emphasize cultivating compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. In this interpretation, the journey to Shambhala is one of personal transformation. It is a destination reached through character, not geography. Even so, the allure of a hidden kingdom has never faded. Perhaps that is because Shambhala speaks to a universal hope that somewhere beyond conflict and division, a better way of living exists. Whether viewed as sacred history, symbolic philosophy, or enduring legend, Shambhala remains one of humanity's most inspiring mysteries. But while Agartha and Shambhala arose from myth and spirituality, another remarkable idea would emerge during the 17th century, one that proposed something even more extraordinary. What if the entire Earth was hollow? Part 4. The Hollow Earth Theory. A world within a world. Among all the ideas surrounding hidden civilizations, few have captured the public imagination quite like the Hollow Earth theory. Unlike Agartha and Shambhala, which originated in mythology and religious tradition, the Hollow Earth theory attempted to present itself as a scientific explanation of our planet. Its central claim was extraordinary, that the Earth is not a solid world at all, but a gigantic hollow sphere containing an enormous interior landscape, complete with oceans, mountains, forests, and perhaps even entire civilizations living beneath our feet. To modern audiences, the idea may sound impossible. Yet for centuries, respected thinkers debated what the Earth's interior might actually look like. Before the development of modern geology and seismology, no one truly knew. The Earth could not be explored beyond a few hundred feet below the surface, leaving plenty of room for speculation. One of the earliest scientific proposals came in 1692 from the English astronomer Edmund Halley, best known today for Halley's Comet. Halley did not suggest that the Earth contained a thriving civilization. Instead, he proposed that the planet consisted of several nested hollow spheres, each rotating independently. He believed this unusual structure might explain irregular changes observed in the Earth's magnetic field. Although the theory was imaginative, it was based on the limited scientific knowledge available at the time. As better observations became available, Halley's model was gradually abandoned. More than a century later, the idea took on a far more dramatic form. In the early 1800s, an American named John Cleves Sims Jr. became convinced that the Earth was hollow and open at both poles. According to Sims, Gigantic openings thousands of miles across allowed access to the Earth's interior. He believed explorers could one day sail directly into this hidden world through the Arctic or Antarctic. Sims promoted his theory with remarkable enthusiasm. He published pamphlets, delivered public lectures, and even petitioned the United States government to fund an expedition to locate the polar openings. Although his requests were denied, his ideas attracted a surprising number of supporters. Maps were drawn, books were published, public debates followed. For many people, the possibility seemed exciting rather than absurd. After all, the polar regions remained largely unexplored. Perhaps the entrances simply hadn't been found yet. As exploration expanded throughout the 19th century, however, no evidence of enormous polar openings emerged. Expeditions reached farther into the Arctic and Antarctic than ever before. Instead of giant gateways leading into another world, explorers encountered glaciers, mountains, sea ice, and some of the harshest environments on Earth. Still, the hollow Earth theory refused to disappear. Writers quickly realized that it provided the perfect setting for adventure stories. In 1864, French novelist Jules Verne published Journey to the Center of the Earth, one of the most influential science fiction novels ever written. Although Verne's underground world differed from later hollow Earth theories, his vivid descriptions inspired generations of readers to imagine strange civilizations hidden beneath the surface. Later authors expanded the concept even further. Some imagined prehistoric creatures surviving underground. Others described advanced human civilizations isolated from history. Entire fictional worlds flourished beneath the Earth's crust. By the 20th century, the theory had begun blending with occult beliefs, UFO stories, and conspiracy theories. Some claimed flying saucers originated from civilizations inside the Earth rather than from distant planets. Others suggested mysterious disappearances near the poles were connected to hidden entrances guarded by unknown forces. These stories became increasingly elaborate, often borrowing elements from Agartha, Atlantis, and modern science fiction. Scientific evidence, however, tells a very different story. Beginning in the late 19th century and accelerating throughout the 20th, geologists developed powerful methods for studying the Earth's interior. The most important came from earthquakes. Whenever a major earthquake occurs, it sends seismic waves traveling through the planet. These waves change speed, bend, and reflect depending on the materials they encounter. By measuring these patterns across thousands of earthquakes, scientists have effectively created a three-dimensional picture of the Earth's interior. The results have been remarkably consistent. Beneath the crust lies the rocky mantle. Below that is the liquid outer core, composed primarily of molten iron and nickel. At the center sits a solid inner core, compressed by immense pressure despite temperatures comparable to the surface of the sun. If the Earth contained a gigantic hollow cavity, seismic waves would behave very differently. They do not. Every major earthquake continues to reinforce the same basic picture of a layered planet. Gravity measurements tell a similar story. The Earth's mass, density, and gravitational field match what scientists would expect from a mostly solid interior. A hollow world simply could not produce the measurements observed every day by satellites and geophysical instruments. Yet despite overwhelming scientific evidence, the hollow Earth theory continues to thrive online. Why? Because it offers something irresistible, a hidden frontier, a place untouched by modern civilization, a reminder that perhaps the greatest adventure is not among the stars, but beneath our own feet. While the hollow Earth remains firmly in the realm of speculation, history reveals something almost as astonishing. People really have built entire cities underground, and unlike mythical kingdoms, these places can still be explored today. Part 5: Real Underground Cities, Engineering Beneath the Earth. After exploring legends of hidden kingdoms and theories of a hollow planet, it's easy to assume that underground cities exist only in myths, but history tells a different story. Human beings have been building beneath the Earth's surface for thousands of years. Not imaginary worlds, real ones. Some were carved by hand through solid rock. Others stretched across multiple levels beneath the ground. Many were capable of sheltering entire communities for months at a time. These remarkable places demonstrate that while legends often exaggerate reality, the reality itself can be just as astonishing. Perhaps the most famous example is the ancient city of Derinkuyu, located in the Cappadocia region of central Turkey. Discovered in modern times after a homeowner uncovered a hidden passage behind a wall, Derinkuyu revealed an underground complex unlike anything archaeologists had expected. The city descends approximately 85 meters, around 280 feet below the surface. It contains multiple levels connected by narrow passageways and carefully engineered staircases. Within its chambers are living quarters, kitchens, food storage rooms, wine and oil presses, schools, chapels, wells, ventilation shafts, and areas for livestock. Some estimates suggest that as many as 20,000 people could have taken refuge there during times of danger. Perhaps most impressive is its ventilation system. Hundreds of carefully positioned shafts supplied fresh air throughout the complex, allowing people to remain underground for extended periods. Massive circular stone doors, each weighing hundreds of pounds, could be rolled into place from the inside, sealing entrances against invaders. These doors could not easily be opened from outside, making the city an effective defensive refuge. Derinkuyu was not alone. Archaeologists have discovered dozens of underground settlements throughout the Cappadocia region. Some were connected by long tunnels, creating a network of hidden communities beneath the volcanic landscape. Historians believe these cities were expanded over centuries by different cultures seeking protection from invading armies and periods of political instability. Unlike mythical underground kingdoms, these cities were built for practical reasons: safety, survival, and secrecy. Elsewhere in the world, people also adapted to life beneath the surface. In Paris, France, an immense network of tunnels stretches beneath the modern city. Originally limestone quarries, many sections were later converted into the famous Paris catacombs, where the remains of millions of people were relocated during the 18th century as overcrowded cemeteries became a public health concern. Today, only a small portion is open to visitors. Large areas remain restricted because of their complexity and the risks associated with navigating them. Beneath Rome lies another remarkable underground landscape. Early Christians created catacombs extending for hundreds of kilometers. These passageways served as burial places and sacred spaces during periods when Christianity was still a persecuted religion. The tunnels preserve paintings, inscriptions, and artifacts that offer valuable insight into early Christian history. Across Europe, archaeologists have identified thousands of mysterious medieval tunnels known in German-speaking regions as Erdstelle. These narrow passageways are often barely large enough for a single person to crawl through. Their exact purpose remains uncertain. Some researchers believe they served as temporary hiding places during raids. Others suggest they had religious or ceremonial functions. Despite decades of study, many questions remain unanswered. Even outside Europe, underground architecture appears again and again. In China, extensive cave dwellings have sheltered families for generations. In Australia, the mining town of Coober Pedy became famous for homes, churches, hotels, and businesses built underground to escape the intense desert heat. In North Africa and the Middle East, subterranean homes have long provided protection from extreme temperatures. Going underground, it turns out, has often been a practical solution rather than an extraordinary mystery. Modern engineering has expanded this concept dramatically. Around the world, cities rely on underground transportation systems, utility tunnels, stormwater networks, and storage facilities hidden beneath busy streets. Entire shopping centers, research laboratories, and transportation hubs now operate below ground level. Much of modern civilization depends on infrastructure that most people never see. These very real underground spaces often inspire exaggerated stories. A maintenance tunnel becomes a secret passage. A government bunker becomes evidence of hidden civilizations. An abandoned mine becomes the entrance to a mysterious underground world. As stories spread, facts and fiction become increasingly difficult to separate. Still, genuine underground discoveries remind us that ancient legends may have been inspired by real places. Imagine encountering Derinkuyu without modern archaeology. A traveler discovers a hidden entrance. Thousands of rooms descend into darkness. Entire communities once lived beneath the earth. Over generations, such discoveries could easily transform into tales of lost kingdoms and hidden civilizations. History has shown that extraordinary places often give rise to extraordinary legends. But in the 20th century, governments themselves began constructing underground facilities on a scale never before seen. Unlike the ancient cities of Cappadocia, these complexes were built in secrecy. Some remain classified. Others were only revealed decades later, and their existence would fuel a new generation of speculation about what might truly lie beneath the surface. Part 6. Secret military bunkers and underground bases. If ancient underground cities inspired myths of hidden civilizations, the 20th century introduced something very different: real underground facilities, built in secret. As technology advanced and global conflicts intensified, governments around the world faced a new reality. Wars were becoming more destructive. Aircraft could strike cities from hundreds of miles away. Then came nuclear weapons. For the first time in history, a single attack could threaten an entire nation's leadership and infrastructure. The solution, many governments believed, was to go underground. Beginning in the years leading up to World War II and accelerating throughout the Cold War, thousands of bunkers, command centers, storage facilities, and military installations were constructed beneath mountains, forests, deserts, and cities. Many of these projects remained classified for decades. Some still are. This secrecy naturally fueled public curiosity. If governments admitted to building some underground facilities, people wondered how many others existed that had never been disclosed. One of the best-known examples is the Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado. Built deep inside solid granite, it was designed during the Cold War to withstand the effects of a nuclear attack. Massive blast doors, sophisticated communications equipment, independent power systems, and extensive life support infrastructure allowed military personnel to continue operating even during a national emergency. For many years, the facility served as a key command center for aerospace warning and missile detection. Its existence was once highly secretive. Today, much of its general purpose is publicly acknowledged, although many operational details remain restricted. Another remarkable example is the Greenbrier Bunker in West Virginia. Hidden beneath what appeared to be an ordinary luxury resort, the facility was secretly constructed to house members of the United States Congress in the event of nuclear war. Complete with meeting chambers, dormitories, medical facilities, kitchens, and communications equipment, the bunker remained unknown to the public for more than 30 years. When its existence was revealed in the early 1990s, it demonstrated that even enormous government projects could remain concealed for decades. The Soviet Union also invested heavily in underground infrastructure. Massive command centers, hardened missile silos, underground factories, and protected leadership bunkers were constructed across the country. Some were designed to survive direct nuclear strikes. Others functioned as secure communication centers capable of operating independently if surface facilities were destroyed. Many former Soviet bunkers have since been abandoned or converted into museums, offering rare glimpses into Cold War planning. Other nations pursued similar strategies. The United Kingdom built protected government command facilities beneath the countryside. Switzerland became famous for integrating civil defense into everyday life, constructing extensive public shelters capable of protecting much of its population. China developed large underground defense networks beneath several major cities. Israel, South Korea, Sweden, and numerous other countries also built hardened facilities designed to protect military and civilian operations during conflict. None of this is conspiracy theory. These bunkers are well documented. Many can now be visited by the public. What often separates fact from speculation is scale. Real underground facilities certainly exist. Some are immense, some remain classified, but documented examples generally serve practical military or governmental purposes. They are command centers, storage depots, communication hubs, aircraft shelters, research laboratories, or emergency continuity of government facilities. They are not known to contain hidden civilizations or sprawling underground cities stretching beneath entire continents. Still, secrecy creates fertile ground for rumors. Whenever the public learns of a previously classified bunker, it reinforces a simple idea. If this facility remained hidden for decades, what else might still be concealed? This question has fueled countless conspiracy theories. Stories began circulating about underground highways connecting military bases across the country. Some claimed high-speed magnetic trains transported personnel through secret tunnels. Others suggested enormous underground factories manufactured advanced aircraft far from public view. Occasionally, construction projects unintentionally added to the mystery. Residents would notice unusual excavation work, truckloads of rock leaving remote locations, restricted access roads, or newly fenced government property. Without official explanations, speculation often filled the gaps. Most of these projects eventually proved to have ordinary purposes: mining operations, transportation tunnels, water systems, research facilities, or military infrastructure. Yet once a mystery captures the public imagination, it often develops a life of its own. Popular culture has amplified these ideas through novels, television series, films, and documentaries featuring hidden laboratories, underground rail systems, and secret command centers extending for miles beneath the landscape. These fictional portrayals sometimes become intertwined with real locations, making it difficult for audiences to distinguish documented facts from imaginative storytelling. There is another reason underground facilities generate so much fascination. Unlike mythical kingdoms, governments genuinely do keep some information classified for national security reasons. That reality leaves room for uncertainty. It is reasonable to assume that certain military installations remain undisclosed or only partially described. What is not supported by publicly available evidence, however, are claims that governments have constructed continent-spanning underground cities housing millions of people or maintaining contact with hidden civilizations. Those ideas remain firmly within the realm of speculation. Even so, one location has become the center of more underground rumors than almost any other: a highly restricted military installation in the Nevada desert, known around the world simply as Area 51. Part 7: Area 51, Underground Tunnels, and Modern Conspiracy Theories. Few places on Earth have inspired more speculation than a remote stretch of desert in southern Nevada. Known simply as Area 51, the facility has become synonymous with secrecy. For decades, its very existence was officially unacknowledged. Located within the vast Nevada Test and Training Range, the base is surrounded by mountains, dry lake beds, and miles of restricted land. Access is tightly controlled, and unauthorized entry is prohibited. The combination of isolation and secrecy has made Area 51 one of the world's most famous mystery locations. The truth, however, is both less mysterious and more interesting than many of the legends. Area 51 was established during the 1950s as a testing ground for highly classified military aircraft. Some of America's most advanced reconnaissance planes, including the U-2 spy plane and later the SR-71 Blackbird, were developed and tested there. At the time, these aircraft flew at altitudes and speeds unlike anything the public had ever seen. Pilots flying commercial airliners occasionally reported strange objects moving far above them. Civilians spotted unusual aircraft reflecting sunlight at incredible heights. Because the aircraft were classified, officials could not explain what witnesses had seen. As a result, speculation flourished. Many of the unidentified flying object reports from that era are now believed to have involved secret military aircraft rather than extraterrestrial spacecraft. Even after many aviation programs were declassified, the rumors continued. Some claimed Area 51 housed captured alien spacecraft. Others suggested engineers were reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. Stories spread of hidden laboratories extending miles beneath the desert, connected by massive tunnel systems linking secret installations across the American Southwest. One of the most persistent claims involves an alleged underground transportation network. According to the theory, high-speed magnetic trains connect Area 51 with locations such as Groom Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, the Nevada National Security Site, and other classified facilities. Some versions even claim the tunnels stretch hundreds or thousands of miles beneath the United States. Supporters point to reports of large construction projects, unusual budget allocations, anonymous whistleblower testimony, and sightings of ventilation shafts in remote desert regions. However, no publicly verified evidence has demonstrated the existence of a continent-spanning underground rail system. Building tunnels over such vast distances would require enormous engineering efforts, continuous maintenance, ventilation, drainage, and the removal of unimaginable quantities of rock. A project of that scale would almost certainly leave extensive physical, financial, and logistical evidence. To date, none has been independently verified. That does not mean underground tunnels do not exist. Military facilities often include underground sections for protection, storage, communications, or secure transportation within a base. Some government sites are known to contain hardened underground structures, but these documented facilities are very different from the immense tunnel networks described in many conspiracy theories. Another location frequently associated with underground rumors is Dulce, New Mexico. According to one popular story, a vast underground laboratory lies beneath Archuleta Mesa, where secret government agencies allegedly conduct classified experiments alongside extraterrestrial beings. These claims became widely known during the 1980s through books, lectures, and anonymous accounts. The stories include descriptions of multiple underground levels, advanced technology, genetic experimentation, and hidden chambers extending deep beneath the mountain. Despite decades of investigation by journalists, researchers, and enthusiasts, no verifiable evidence has confirmed these extraordinary claims. No authenticated construction records, no independently verified photographs, no physical access to the alleged underground complex. The legend, nevertheless, remains one of the most enduring stories in modern conspiracy culture. Another reason these theories persist is that genuine government secrecy creates uncertainty. Military research programs often remain classified for years or even decades. New aircraft, surveillance technologies, and defense systems are frequently developed away from public view. When people discover that governments have successfully kept major projects secret in the past, it becomes easier to imagine that even larger secrets may still exist. History certainly contains examples of classified programs that later became public. The Manhattan Project remained hidden from most Americans while developing the first atomic bombs. Stealth aircraft programs were concealed for years before being acknowledged. Cold War bunkers and intelligence operations were often revealed only decades after they ended. These documented examples demonstrate that governments are capable of maintaining significant secrecy. However, they do not automatically validate every extraordinary claim that follows. This distinction is important. A history of genuine secrecy does not serve as evidence for unrelated allegations. Each claim must be evaluated on its own merits. That principle lies at the heart of critical thinking. Some stories withstand careful investigation, others do not. As the internet expanded during the late 20th and early 21st centuries, underground base theories spread faster than ever before. Videos, podcasts, documentaries, and online forums introduced millions of people to stories of hidden cities, secret railways, underground laboratories, and classified engineering projects. Some presentations carefully distinguish between documented facts and speculation. Others blur the line, combining real locations with fictional narratives until separating one from the other becomes increasingly difficult. The fascination endures because it speaks to a timeless question. What if there is more beneath the surface than we have been told? For now, the available evidence confirms the existence of real underground military facilities and secret research sites. It does not confirm the existence of the vast subterranean civilizations or interconnected underground empires described by many conspiracy theories. Yet beneath our feet, there are still countless natural caves, unexplored caverns, and geological mysteries waiting to be discovered. And those hidden landscapes have inspired legends almost as old as humanity itself. In the next chapter, we'll descend into the natural underground world of caves, sinkholes, and unexplored passages, places where reality is often stranger than fiction. Part 8. Earth's Hidden Labyrinth: Caves, Sinkholes, and the Unknown Below. Not every mystery beneath the Earth's surface is the product of myth or conspiracy. Some are entirely real. In fact, our planet contains an astonishing underground landscape that remains only partially explored. Stretching beneath mountains, forests, deserts, and even modern cities are millions of caves, underground rivers, sinkholes, lava tubes, and vast caverns. Many have never been fully mapped. Some may never be. These natural formations remind us that while hidden civilizations remain unproven, the underground world itself is every bit as mysterious as the legends that surround it. Caves form through a variety of natural processes. In regions rich in limestone, slightly acidic rainwater slowly dissolves the rock over hundreds of thousands or even millions of years. The result is an intricate network of tunnels, chambers, and underground rivers. Elsewhere, volcanic eruptions leave behind lava tubes as molten rock drains away, creating long, hollow passages. In glacial regions, melting ice carves temporary caves beneath frozen landscapes. Each process creates a different kind of hidden world. Some caves are small enough to crawl through. Others are so immense that they contain forests, rivers, and their own weather systems. One of the most remarkable examples is Sun Dong Cave in Vietnam. Discovered by a local farmer in the early 1990s and fully explored years later, it is considered the largest known cave passage on Earth. Its chambers are so vast that a 40-story skyscraper could fit inside. Sunlight enters through collapsed sections of the ceiling, allowing dense jungle vegetation to grow deep underground. Clouds sometimes form within the cave itself, due to differences in temperature and humidity. It is a reminder that extraordinary places can exist without any need for supernatural explanations. Another famous cave system lies beneath Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. With more than 400 miles, over 640 kilometers of surveyed passageways, it is the longest known cave system in the world. Yet scientists believe many additional passages remain undiscovered. Each year, explorers continue to extend the map. The cave seems determined to keep some of its secrets. Mexico's Cave of the Crystals offers another breathtaking example. Buried deep beneath a mountain in Chihuahua, enormous crystals of selenite stretch more than 30 feet in length. The chamber remained hidden until mining operations accidentally exposed it in the year 2000. Inside, temperatures approach 136 degrees Fahrenheit or 58 degrees Celsius, with nearly 100% humidity. Without specialized cooling equipment, a person can survive there only for a short time. Nature, it seems, is capable of creating environments that appear almost alien. Then there are sinkholes. To many people, they seem to appear without warning. A quiet road suddenly collapses, a backyard disappears overnight, an entire building sinks into the ground. Although dramatic, these events are usually the result of underground cavities that have gradually formed as water dissolves soluble rock. Eventually, the surface can no longer support its own weight. The roof collapses. What appears to be a sudden disaster has often been developing silently for centuries. Underground rivers add another layer of mystery. Entire waterways flow unseen beneath the landscape, emerging miles away through springs or cave entrances. Some remain difficult to trace because they weave through labyrinths of flooded passages, inaccessible to all but the most experienced cave divers. Cave diving is considered one of the most hazardous forms of exploration. Visibility can vanish in seconds. Passages narrow unexpectedly. A single wrong turn can become fatal. Despite these dangers, explorers continue pushing deeper into submerged cave systems in search of new discoveries. Their work has revealed extinct animal fossils, ancient human remains, prehistoric artwork, and evidence of early civilizations that once sought shelter underground. Some caves preserve footprints left tens of thousands of years ago. Others contain ceremonial chambers used by ancient cultures, whose beliefs have long since faded into history. These discoveries remind us that underground spaces have always held profound significance for human societies. They served as homes, places of worship, burial sites, natural fortresses, and sources of mystery. Even today, large portions of the underground world remain unexplored. Scientists estimate that many cave systems have yet to be discovered, particularly in remote mountain ranges, tropical rainforests, and beneath polar ice. New passages are found every year. Some connect previously separate cave systems. Others reveal entirely new underground ecosystems populated by species found nowhere else on Earth. These discoveries fuel the imagination. If enormous natural chambers can remain hidden for millions of years, could other surprises still await beneath the surface? Science answers this question with cautious optimism. Yes, there are undoubtedly undiscovered caves, underground rivers, and geological formations waiting to be explored. But that is very different from claiming hidden civilizations or vast underground kingdoms exist without evidence. The underground world is already extraordinary enough. It doesn't require embellishment to inspire wonder. Yet throughout history, people have often interpreted these mysterious places through the lens of their beliefs. A deep cave became an entrance to another world. An underground river became the pathway of souls. A hidden cavern became the home of supernatural beings. As we shall see next, cultures across the globe developed remarkably similar stories about entrances leading to realms beneath the earth. Whether viewed as mythology, religion, or symbolic storytelling, these legends reveal something profound about the human imagination, and perhaps about humanity itself. Such stories echo themes found in cultures around the world. Time behaves differently. Knowledge is hidden. Returning travelers are forever changed. In Hindu tradition, ancient texts describe subterranean realms known as the Patala Lokas. These are often misunderstood in modern retellings. Rather than being places of eternal punishment, some descriptions portray them as magnificent worlds inhabited by powerful beings known as Nagas. The texts speak of jeweled palaces, advanced knowledge, and extraordinary beauty. Over time, some writers connected these accounts with later legends of hidden civilizations, such as Agartha, although the traditions developed independently. Across continents, similar patterns continue to appear. A cave becomes the entrance to another realm. A mountain conceals a hidden kingdom. A tunnel leads to forgotten knowledge. The details vary, but the themes remain strikingly consistent. Modern psychologists and mythologists have offered several explanations. Some argue these stories reflect humanity's instinctive fear of the unknown. Darkness naturally inspires imagination. Others suggest underground journeys symbolize personal transformation. Descending into the earth represents confronting one's deepest fears before returning wiser than before. Still others believe ancient people may have based these legends on real cave systems, abandoned underground settlements, or natural geological formations that seemed almost supernatural to those who first encountered them. Whatever their origin, these myths reveal something important. For countless generations, people have looked beneath the surface not merely with curiosity, but with hope. Hope that hidden wisdom exists. Hope that forgotten civilizations may still endure. Hope that somewhere, beyond ordinary experience, mysteries remain waiting to be discovered. As our journey nears its conclusion, one question remains. Why do stories of underground worlds continue to thrive in the modern age, despite advances in science and archaeology? The answer may have less to do with what lies beneath the earth, and far more to do with human nature itself. Part 10. Why We Believe, Separating Fact from Fiction. After thousands of years of legends, centuries of exploration, and decades of scientific research, one question remains. Why do stories of hidden worlds beneath the earth continue to capture our imagination? The answer is more complex than it first appears. Part of the appeal lies in the unknown. Despite remarkable advances in science, much of our own planet remains unexplored. The deepest oceans have been visited less frequently than the surface of the moon. New cave systems are discovered every year. Ancient ruins continue to emerge from deserts, jungles, and beneath modern cities. History repeatedly reminds us that extraordinary discoveries are possible. Because genuine surprises still occur, people naturally wonder whether even greater discoveries might still be waiting. Another reason is that history contains real examples of secrets that were once dismissed. Entire civilizations have been forgotten for centuries before being rediscovered. The ancient city of Troy was long considered a legend until archaeological excavations uncovered evidence of a real Bronze Age city. Machu Picchu remained largely unknown to the outside world until the early 20th century. The terracotta army lay hidden beneath the soil of China for over 2,000 years before farmers accidentally uncovered it in 1974. Even Derinkuyu, one of the largest underground cities ever found, remained concealed until the modern era. These remarkable discoveries teach an important lesson. Sometimes legends contain a grain of truth, but they also teach another lesson. Reality is usually more complicated, and often more fascinating than the legend itself. A forgotten city becomes an entire lost civilization. An underground refuge becomes a kingdom beneath the earth. A classified military bunker becomes a vast secret empire. As stories pass from one generation to the next, details grow more dramatic. Modern media has accelerated this process. Books, films, documentaries, podcasts, and social media allow extraordinary claims to spread across the world within hours. A compelling story often travels much faster than a careful investigation. Algorithms tend to reward mystery, surprise, and emotion. As a result, sensational theories frequently receive more attention than measured explanations. This does not mean every unusual claim is false. It means extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That principle lies at the heart of both science and responsible historical research. When archaeologists announce a discovery, they document artifacts, they record locations, they publish evidence that other experts can examine. Geologists rely on measurable data gathered through instruments and repeated observations. Historians compare multiple independent sources before drawing conclusions. This process is often slower than speculation, but it is also far more reliable. The scientific evidence available today strongly supports a layered Earth composed of crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core. It supports the existence of remarkable natural cave systems. It confirms ancient underground cities, military bunkers, transportation tunnels, mines, and research facilities. It does not support the existence of a hollow Earth inhabited by advanced civilizations, nor has verifiable evidence confirmed continent-spanning underground cities or secret societies living beneath the surface. That distinction matters. Rejecting unsupported claims does not diminish the wonder of genuine discoveries. In many ways, reality is extraordinary enough. There are still caves no human has entered. Ancient ruins remain buried beneath forests and deserts. Subterranean ecosystems continue to surprise biologists. Every year, archaeologists uncover new pieces of humanity's forgotten past. The underground world remains full of mystery, just perhaps not the kind often portrayed in sensational stories. There is another reason these legends endure. They offer hope. Agartha represents perfect wisdom. Shambhala symbolizes spiritual enlightenment. The hollow earth promises a hidden frontier untouched by conflict. Secret underground cities suggest that knowledge has been preserved somewhere beyond the reach of ordinary history. Whether taken literally or symbolically, these stories express a deeply human desire. The belief that somewhere, beyond the noise of daily life, beyond conflict, beyond uncertainty, a greater truth may still exist. Perhaps that is why every generation rediscovers these legends. Not because the evidence changes, but because the questions remain timeless. What don't we know? What have we overlooked? Could history still hold remarkable surprises? Those are questions worth asking. Not because every mystery has an extraordinary answer, but because curiosity itself has always driven humanity forward. The greatest explorers were not those who believed every story, nor were they those who dismissed every mystery. They were the people willing to investigate with open minds, while following the evidence wherever it led. And perhaps that is the most valuable lesson hidden beneath these ancient legends. The world is still full of wonders. Some exist only in myth. Some are grounded in history. Some remain waiting to be discovered. Our challenge is not simply to believe or to doubt. It is to remain curious, to ask thoughtful questions, to examine the evidence honestly, and to appreciate that the greatest mysteries are often those that inspire us to keep exploring. Because beneath every legend, there is usually a story, and beneath every story, there is a search for truth. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the hidden worlds beneath the earth. Whether you came seeking history, mythology, archaeology, or mystery, we hope you've discovered that the line between fact and folklore is often more fascinating than either one alone. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never lose your sense of wonder. Conclusion. The mystery beneath our feet. From the sacred kingdom of Shambhala to the legendary halls of Agartha, from the hollow earth theory to ancient underground cities, from Cold War bunkers to vast natural cave systems, our journey has taken us deep beneath the surface of both the earth and the human imagination. Along the way, we've encountered stories that span thousands of years and nearly every culture on Earth. Some originated as religious teachings, others emerged from folklore, some grew out of misunderstood discoveries, and others were born from genuine government secrecy during times of war. Each has contributed another layer to one of humanity's oldest mysteries. What lies beneath our feet? Modern science has answered many of those questions. Geologists have mapped the Earth's interior through seismic waves. Archaeologists have uncovered remarkable underground cities built by ancient civilizations. Engineers have created enormous tunnels, transportation systems, mines, and military installations beneath the surface. Every year, explorers discover new caves and hidden chambers that expand our understanding of the underground world. At the same time, much remains unknown, not because evidence points to hidden civilizations beneath the Earth's crust, but because exploration is never truly finished. There are still unexplored cave systems, buried archaeological sites waiting to be uncovered, ancient tunnels whose original purpose remains uncertain, and geological mysteries that continue to challenge researchers. These are the kinds of discoveries that remind us the real world can be every bit as fascinating as fiction. Perhaps that is why stories of underground kingdoms have endured for so long. They speak to something universal, the hope that hidden knowledge still exists, the belief that remarkable places remain undiscovered, the idea that the next great discovery may be just beyond the edge of what we currently understand. Whether those stories describe physical locations or symbolic journeys, they continue to inspire curiosity. And curiosity has always been one of humanity's greatest strengths. Nearly every major scientific breakthrough began with a question. Every archaeological discovery began with someone willing to look where others had not. Every map grew from an unexplored frontier. In that sense, the legends of hidden worlds have served an important purpose. They encouraged people to wonder, to search, to investigate. Sometimes the legends proved to be only stories. Sometimes they pointed toward genuine historical discoveries, and occasionally they inspired entirely new fields of exploration. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this: mystery and evidence are not enemies. Mystery gives us questions. Evidence helps us answer them. Without mystery, there is little reason to explore. Without evidence, there is little way to know whether we've found the truth. The balance between the two has driven human progress for thousands of years. As technology advances, our understanding of the Earth will continue to grow. New archaeological discoveries will undoubtedly reshape our view of the past. New cave systems will be explored. New underground structures may be uncovered. And with every discovery, new questions will emerge. That is the nature of exploration. The journey is never truly complete. So the next time you hear a story about a hidden city beneath a mountain, a forgotten tunnel beneath an ancient temple, or a mysterious cavern waiting to be explored, remember that the truth is often more nuanced than the legend. Sometimes the evidence confirms part of the story, sometimes it tells an entirely different one. Either way, the search itself is worthwhile. Because every mystery, whether ultimately explained or forever unsolved, reminds us that our world still holds countless wonders waiting to be understood. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this exploration of myths, history, archaeology, and the unknown, be sure to join us again as we continue exploring the world's greatest mysteries, always with curiosity, open minds, and a careful look at the evidence. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop wondering what might be waiting just beyond the next discovery.